Hey, this is Ryan. I wanted to make a video real quick. Trying to keep making videos. I'm here at the park. A lot of action going on here at the park. As you can see, there's a lot of people here today. And I just wanted to talk about growing up in California, because I saw a video of somebody else who made a video about growing up in California, but they were a much younger person. So I figured, hey, I would like to talk about what it was like growing up in Southern California. When I grew up, as you can see, the weather's beautiful. It's always beautiful. The weather's always really good in California, Southern California. In the wintertime, it doesn't really get that much cold. Like, it'll get a little bit cold, but nothing that you can't handle. In the summertime, it gets hot, but you just go to the beach, and that's what we used to do when I was a kid. Growing up in Southern California was like going to the beach, because the beach is right over that mountain, right over there. It's right over that mountain over there, the Ortega Mountain. So we would always go drive to the beach, spend the whole day at the beach. We used to stay the whole day at the beach. We might have a little fire or something. We'd get there pretty early. We used to get there pretty early and stay all day at the beach. And then we wouldn't come home until dark. And we would go boogie boarding and digging in the sand and playing sports with my cousins. Sometimes our whole family would go, like our whole family, cousins and uncles and aunts and everything. Sometimes we'd go down there with the church, like the whole church would go, spend a whole day down at the beach. My family, my personal family, sometimes we'd go down there just ourselves. And when I got older, recently there's been a lot of tagging. Somebody did a lot of tagging over here. Something that is always kind of around, but anyways, growing up in Southern California, it was always going to the beach. And we used to stay long periods of time down at the beach every summer, sometimes even in spring. And what I noticed is, like, it used to get hot earlier in the year. It used to be hot I remember it would get hot like in like May or something. April or May, it would start already getting hot. And summertime would be more like in June and July and August. Now it seems like it doesn't get hot until like August and September and October. It's so another thing that they did was in the 90s, like, they grew a lot of trees. We had that thing where it was always advertised on TV, like, to grow trees and to grow more trees. And so we went on a tree growing rampage, and it really worked. Like 10 years later, you had all these trees everywhere, and that was really great. From Los Angeles to here, because I live in a small town of Lake Elsinore, it used to be a small town. It used to be like nothing much really out here, and it grew into like having like a whole bunch of stuff out here. And matter of fact, when you drive down the freeway, it's kind of like almost like connected to Corona, and Corona's connected to LA. It's like, at least along the freeway, and all the way down to San Diego. When you're driving, there are some spots where there's like nothing, but for the most part, it's pretty much all connected along the freeway. Growing up out here was nice. It was really hot. Lake Elsinore is really hot. It's about 30 degrees hotter than LA. LA would probably be 72 degrees. Out here to be like about 105, 110. nowadays it seems like it's a lot cooler out here, probably because all the trees and maybe all the houses and buildings and stuff, but it still gets pretty hot. Um, yeah, but growing up in the 90s, late 80s and early 90s, it was like, you know, you go to the pizza place with your friends and play the arcade games. And anyways, out here there was nothing much out here. The Mexican culture out here has always been out here, but there wasn't cultures from other people out here. But now there's starting to be cultures from like other people from different countries all over the world, and so that's something kind of new that we didn't have before, and it's just like slowly starting to come in. Mostly the culture is like American culture and Mexican culture, like Cinco de Mayo and stuff, and we've always had the culture like that. That's what we're used to. But now there's starting to be other cultures coming in, and a little more and more, but not really much yet. But it seems like a little more and more. I don't know what, you know, it's just different, seeing different types of people that you don't like from different countries. It's just kind of different for us. But so far, the only changes is like a lot more traffic, a lot more houses, a lot more. We got like a nice park here. You know, they put in a nice park. It seems like they put in parks everywhere, which is great. Where was I going? Oh, with the homeless people and the mental people, there's always been a little bit of homeless people and a little bit of mental people walking around, especially over by the Circle K and over there by the lake. It seems like to be the spawning ground of all the homeless and mental people. Ever since I was a kid, it's always been that way. It's still that way. There's just maybe a little bit more of them. I would say like the population has like quadrupled. There probably used to be like around like 10 people over there. Now there's probably like, I don't know, scattered out maybe 50 or 60. As far as the mental people go, it's pretty bad in Lake Elsinore because it gets so hot out here, and people will walk. They'll walk everywhere. It's you could see them, like some of them seem normal, but some of them seem really weird. A lot of people come from LA, I notice, and the people of Lake Elsinore here that grew up here, we can tell who's from where. So especially like if you're older, you could tell. And a lot of the older people, they don't really like people migrating over here from LA, because it used to be a small quiet town, and now it's become this busy, not really like a city, but almost like a wannabe city. Like it's like people drive around fast now. There's traffic. There's traffic now, and it gets really irritating when you used to be able to just drive around and not have traffic and not have any sort of worry about congestion. Now it's like irritating. It's like even the shortcuts that I know my way around the city, and I could take shortcuts to get around the traffic, I'll still end up like having to go back into traffic, and there'll just be like a wall of cars. Stuff like that just gets really annoying, because it's like it makes you appreciate the way things used to be, and it almost kind of makes me feel like I don't want to be a part of a city. Like I don't want to move. I used to want to move into the city. Now I feel like I don't want to move into the city. And now that this is becoming kind of congested, it makes me feel like I want to move out of here and back into a small town feel. The only thing that I would say that's nice about that, there's more stores and places to go to and stuff like that. Like I have a gym, there's a couple of gyms around, there's, you know, parks, there's recreation, there's a lot of things around now, malls and shopping centers and Targets and Walmarts and Popeye's Chicken and Costco and Del Taco and Chick-fil-A and I don't know, Big Five and the 99-cent stores, a bunch of them, and, you know, GameStops and Chinese food places, and I'm just trying to name out like all that stuff really wasn't here before. We've got a Marshalls, we've got a outlet mall, like a Nike outlet mall, like all that stuff wasn't here before, and now it's all here. So you know, it's like, really, I just want to live in a small town that has like a movie theater, a bowling alley, a park, and a gym, and a grocery store, and that's it. Like, I don't know. Once I move away from here, I probably will miss having so much stuff around, but I feel like I just like done with it. I just don't feel like being a part of a city or anything. I'll move out somewhere and like have a farm or something. Just go back to country, go back to small town living. It's sad though, because to get away from this, it seems like I have to go far away from it, because everywhere that's close to the beach, all these places, it seems like it's busy everywhere out here now. So, excuse me. It seems like things are richer now, as far as like a lot of people have a lot of money. Things are richer. There's like Starbucks around here everywhere, you know. We've got about 3 or 4 of them. Who knows? And then it seems like people are richer. Like they dress nicer. They have nicer clothes. You know, because there's clothing stores everywhere. They go and buy clothes and shoes and everything else. Back in the day, it seemed like everybody had hand-me-downs. Schools, there's more schools out here now. So I would say that it just seems more populated. There's more cars out of the road. That's irritating. It seems like I have less money to enjoy going to the beach. I don't even go to the beach anymore. When I go there, I don't really enjoy it that much anymore. And we don't stay long either. When we go, we used to stay all day and all night. We rarely get together to go, and then if we do go, it's just for like a few hours, and we want to get back home. It seems like nobody wants to stay out there anymore. Just the fear of getting into a car accident or getting a parking ticket. Like, I've got parking tickets before. I never got parking tickets before. Now I'm starting to get parking tickets if I go down there. You know, you wouldn't worry about getting in an accident or anything, but now it's like you're just driving down there, there's just like tons of congestion. You're just worried about a car accident. There used to be cool people down at the beach. Everybody was cool. It seemed really laid back, not much people around. Now there's people everywhere, and half of them aren't cool. They might, I don't know, they might just, who knows, dent your car or cause some sort of problem, or they bring their dog. And like one time I saw a guy that got their dogs fighting, and then they were fighting, and then the guy's on a stretcher. Like, more people drowning at the beach. When I go down to the beach, there's always an emergency. Almost every time somebody's drowning or something's happening. Anyways, you know, things like this are kind of weird. It's like we used to ride, if we had a motorcycle, we'd go ride a motorcycle around. Then it got kind of like you couldn't ride a motorcycle anywhere. now you have like people illegally riding motorcycles at the park, you know, like they're gonna get in trouble because there's police everywhere out here. Like now that's another problem, is there's so much police. Back in the day, I think I got pulled over like once, and the police officer was like somebody that probably like a friend, like somebody you knew, a friend of a friend that you knew was like the only police officer that drove like an old police car, and there was like one or two police in the whole city or something like that. Now there's like a whole fleet with SUVs. They've got all these like fancy high-tech cars with smart stuff in them, and a bunch of police officers that are not even from around this town. They're from like somewhere else, and they come here to work and just give out tickets like crazy, and they park their motorcycles on the curb and hide them, and they got the radar guns and everything. Like none of that. We didn't have none of that out here like that. And just taking your money, going out, give you a ticket. There's like, man, like yesterday I saw like 20 of them. Like you go from one cop car, from not seeing any cops and maybe running into one cop car that might be like your friend's friend, to like in one day, I swear the other day I saw about 20 or more cop cars. It was ridiculous. It was like horrible. So that's another thing that, you know, that's put in the mix out here. I'm not saying it's bad. I still think it's really great. They have these dog things at the park. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. The weather's nice. I think it's a great place to live. Like, people say like, oh, everyone's moving out of California and this and that, it's too expensive and all this. Well, yeah, you got a house over here that used to be like brand new was $200,000. Now it's like $500,000. Stuff like that is kind of a bunch of families pack into one house to pay the house payment, and then their cars are all over the street. Like it didn't used to be that way. So I still think it's great and everything. There's the skate culture here. There's the laid back, there's laid back surfer culture, mostly skater culture, and all the same stuff. But it's a really cool culture. Southern California is our original American Southern California, mixed with a little bit of the Mexican influence culture from like the 80s and 90s is still cool. It's still the best culture. The surfer and skater, punk, different cultures is still really cool. The laid back feels, is still the coolest, but now it's like you're introducing a whole bunch of other cultures in, and they don't understand the culture. So it's kind of like, you want that good American, you want that good American culture. You don't want all these like other things, unless they implemented it in with our culture and like get with the program, get with the surfer skate, laid back Southern California lifestyle. We got Hollywood and all that, but I like the surfer skater culture, the art, the art of like the surfers and the skaters and the punk, and we got a little bit of every little culture, a little bit of hip hop culture, a little bit of everything, but it's like that laid back Southern California feel that makes it good, and it just doesn't seem like that anymore. Like, I don't know, maybe I gotta tap into it more, but it seems more overpopulated, congested, and a bunch of people here that don't understand the culture, the culture. So anyways, that's my video. I'll see you in the next one. This is Ryan. Peace. I'm out. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of Southern California. All right, you have a good day. Late.